Imagine being a new author and you see a bit of a gap in the market, in the service market, to where you say, you know what? I really need to make a service available to authors that will help level up their career and help get more readers. And that's where Kenney Myers comes into play. Kenney established and founded ebookfairs.com. It's a virtual book fair site and service, but that site's starting to evolve more to where it involves advanced review copies. It involves barcode generation for free. There's so much involved in it, and it keeps growing and growing. And the longer that I've known Kenney, the more I've realized this man, I don't think he sleeps, to be quite fair. And you're going to find out also that he went and bought a small publishing house. Yeah, he bought a small publishing house. That right there, boom, just blows my mind. So I think that really is why I decided, let's go ahead and tap in to what Kenney's doing. Why is he doing it? Whatever motivated him to go in towards that direction? And what are some of the things you could expect from what he offers through ebook fairs? And also, what's the deal with buying a small publishing house? That's just absolutely crazy. So without any further ado, let's get on into the interview with my friend Kenney. So Kenney, when did you and I first run into each other?
I think it was over about a year ago, actually, as I was founding ebook fairs and just looking for different people to talk to about the market in general, so that I could understand exactly if my take on it was good, if I was providing a service that other people would find valuable. And you certainly helped me a lot, pointed me in a lot of different directions, and connected me with some people that also gave me some additional advice, and really led us to where we are today with a ton of additional features and hopefully tools that really help authors and readers be able to connect with each other and find exactly what they're both looking for. So kind of a win for authors and a win for readers. So that's been really fun to see it evolve.
So just a quick summary. What is ebook fairs? What can authors look for in this, and what can readers look for in this?
Yeah, so what we attempted to create was this kind of win-win scenario where authors kind of get a little bit more ability to control how they're marketing their books, because it's kind of hard in today's world when you're trying to market. You're competing with other advertisers on Facebook or on Amazon ads or wherever it is that you're actually dabbling with advertising. And so one thing that's nice about ebook fairs is you can take control. You can say, I want to create a book fair, a virtual book fair around my genre. So something that fits well with the book that I write. I write Norse myths, so I could create an ebook fair on Norse myths, and then invite other authors that also write Norse myths, so that we can be able to present our book fair to the world and have our friends and family and our fans be able to see what they're probably also interested in, which is other Norse myths. So by leveraging the networking effect of a bunch of us authors, we can get a lot more eyes to our books. And also, most importantly, it's people that should be genuinely very interested in it. And I think that's what we're trying to provide, is really that chance for readers to be able to get exposure to authors they wouldn't have found any other way. And ebook fairs is a nice platform to allow them to do that. I think the other thing that differentiates it is it's not just a group promo. I know a lot of authors are familiar with group promos. That's something like what ebook fairs is, but another differentiator is when you're sharing it out with your friends and family, we also offer a giveaway. So they can sign up for an Amazon $50 gift card, as well as free books. So and you might say, who provides the free books? Well, the platform, we buy them. So the author still wins even in that scenario. So we buy the books and send them to the winner of the drawing each week as well. So it's a weekly drawing. It drives a lot of traffic. So it's kind of, again, that kind of win-win situation where not only do we give them topics that they should be interested in, books that they wouldn't have found any other way, but we also give them a chance to make some money and win some free books. So who doesn't like that?
Yeah, for sure. But I there's a question that comes in my head right now, Kenney, because I'm concerned about you, man. You're giving away so much insane value through ebook fairs, And in addition, you're buying these prizes and such like that. You're not going broke, are you, man?
No, no. It's really all a part of it. I mean, what we're here to do is really kind of level the playing field for authors. And we know it's very hard. And in fact, when I started marketing my own novels, I realized that there was kind of a gap in the marketplace where we needed to provide a mechanism for people to be able to market their books in a way that was effective and also affordable, and really completely up to them. If you put in the effort, if you share the book fairs with your friends and family and your email list and everywhere else that you can, then you can get really great results, because all of those authors doing that will drive a lot of traffic in to look at each other's books. And so we do get, by doing all of this and giving away these things and doing all these other things that we do get about on average 2,500 visitors per fair, which is a pretty good amount of traffic that gives our authors the best chance to win. And I think that's eventually going to pay off in lots of different ways. And another thing that is happening is we have a publishing company as well, and so a lot of our authors are already on the platform. So we also win when people buy the books because we're the publisher. So so there's multiple ways in which we are able to generate revenue off of it, and it all makes sense if you step away from it and kind of see the grand design. It does make sense, and it is an effective way for us to be able to make money in the long run, but also it's a great service for authors, right? So first and foremost, it's about the authors. We want them to be successful, and we hope that if they see success on our platform, they'll also want to do more work with us. So whether it's working with a publishing company, or we're about to launch a new art program, so if they want to take advantage of that, they'll be able to take advantage of that as well. And so there's a lot of ways that we can provide value, and hopefully that differentiates us from a lot of the services that are out there.
Yeah, this is so unique. And the only reason why I bring up concern over finances, and I'm sure you had it all in check anyways, a lot of people are like, why is he so concerned? Because Kenney's an author like everybody else. So share with me what got you into writing, and then what led you to go, I'm just going to go ahead and make my life a little more difficult and make this awesome tool for authors.
Yep. So actually, I've always been really creative. So I've done a lot of acting and other pursuits like that. And I actually went to my wife and I have been married now 30 years.
Congrats.
And we went to an anniversary dinner. Was it 2 years ago? And I said, you know what? I really want to write a book. She's like, why? I'm like, I don't know. I just really want to write a book. And so it got in my head that I was going to write a book. And sure enough, I was able to get it together and get a book written. So we wrote it pretty quickly, and the reason why I enjoyed doing that is because I feel like there was kind of a need for family-friendly content. So a lot of the content that I do is very focused on providing a positive message, and I wanted to write something that, and John Bragg is like that, where it gives they're young kids, so they're in their teens, and they're growing up in Iowa, but they have lots of issues. So, but they're good with themselves. They're comfortable in their own skin, and you can kind of see how they interact with each other. And I felt like that message was a good message to get out there. So I wanted to do something different. And I also am heavily into kind of supernatural types of things, and pretty big into Norse myths. And one thing that I realized is there's not much out there about Bragi. There's a ton of stuff out there about Thor, Loki, and other gods, but there isn't much out there about Bragi. And so because I'm a poet as well, it made a lot of sense for me to center everything around Bragi. And so I thought it would be just a unique story and a way to deliver a positive message. So I don't want to give away too much of the book, but it was a lot of fun to write, and it was completely worth it and a really great experience. When I got it written, I was so excited, right?
Yeah.
So I was ready. I hit publish, and I used Draft to Digital to do it. So I thought, wow, this is great. I got it published. I was out there, and then I was just waiting for the downloads to start and all the good stuff to happen, right? And radio silence. Like nothing happened, right? Of course it didn't happen because I didn't do anything to make it happen other than, share it out on my social media, which was somewhat effective. And so I tried every service that you can possibly imagine. I did every newsletter you could think of. I did all of the Twitter things, where they'll tweet out to their 50,000 followers. I tried that. I tried all the BookBub ads. I tried I couldn't do Amazon ads because I published through Drafted Digital, like I just said. So I didn't have my KDP account. But I did Facebook ads and everything else. So I tried everything that was out there. I tried some other organizations I won't mention because I don't want to say anything bad about anyone, but I spent a lot of money. And the reality of it was I came to the conclusion pretty quickly that there was no chance I was going to make back the money I was spending on a lot of these programs because I was selling a 99-cent book. And it would take a ton of sales to be able to pay for a $300 newsletter blast or a $600 one or even more in some cases, right? There's no chance it was going to actually work out for me. And so being a technology guy, I decided I need to do something about this. And the one thing that I did say, what did work a little bit, it was working some at least, was sharing the book on social media. So a lot of friends and family were buying the book and telling me about it, and that was great, but it wasn't scalable. I needed a way to be able to get more friends and family. And so I started down the path of trying out different group promos, and that seemed kind of promising, but it seemed like there was a value proposition missing. So there wasn't something in it for the readers. And so I wanted to provide something that was a win-win for everyone involved. And that's kind of how ebook fairs came into being, where I said, well, this would be fun to have a book fair site where authors are in control. They can create as many book fairs as they want. They can decide who can be in or not in their book fairs, so they can decide who they want to associate with. Once it gets launched, I gave them lots of assets, so videos to share, images to share, things like that, to make it easy for them to be able to share stuff on social media about it. And then again, providing that value for the reader to be able to have a reason to come in and take a look. It's not just, oh, he's my friend, I better go look. It's like, no, he's my friend, I want to go look, but I also don't mind winning some money. And so I think it gave everything just a little bit better, a good reason for it to exist. And so that's kind of the evolution as it started from just kind of a crazy idea, is like, why not write a book, to, oh, it's work to actually market this thing. I need to figure out how to do this. Let me try a bunch of stuff, to, that didn't work, let me create something. And that's so far been very successful. We've got a lot of traffic, a lot of really great authors on the site, and it's very busy right now. So it's a good time to get involved with it.
Are you starting to see any kind of organic traffic for readers coming to your website?
Yeah, the readers are definitely coming through the authors. So basically, by them sharing the site with their friends and family, it's driving a lot of readers in. Right now we have somewhere around 12,000 readers. So it's a little bit higher than that. But we have a good number of readers that are there for us to have a nice little base built up. And that's just growing, and it will continue to grow as we bring on more authors. So the idea is we're at about kind of the halfway point to where I wanted to be in order to really see it take off. But that's still significant progress in the short amount of time we've been around. So very happy and excited about that. Definitely think having the publishing company now, which is a relatively recent acquisition, adds a lot to it too, because we have a ton of authors inside of that, which we have around 1,200 books published in the catalog, and a few hundred more in the works. So definitely a lot of books in place, and that's also very helpful to drive even more business into ebook fairs and keep it as busy as possible.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad to see that a lot of this is starting to pay off for you, because I know when you initially approached me about it, I was like, this guy's got a good idea. I was like, I really would love to see this, work out. And it looks like it's doing really, really well. Quick question though, and I probably should have asked this a long time ago. So if somebody wants to do the virtual book fair, let's say that you're hosting it, like you put together, I don't know, Werebear Shapeshifter Lovers or something like that, and I don't pay for the service, could I still be part of that virtual book fair even though you're already paying the monthly, or do I need to pay the monthly as well?
Every author has to join and be a member in order to be able to
Okay.
do it. So every author does pay to have their books listed, but they can list in an unlimited number of fairs, and so it's a relatively easy thing, and it's also month to month. So if you decide you want to stop at any point in time.
It's such a small amount to invest every month is what I had saw, and I was like, man, I was like, this is really, really something, especially, you're getting such a great marketing tool. There's already readers there. And of course, there's already authors that you can go ahead and collaborate with on things like this. Fantastic. Also, I was sitting here thinking, as you were talking about publishing to draft to digital earlier this year, Amazon Author Central actually rolled out support through Amazon advertising. I know you've probably had your handfuls. Did you ever go back and look at Amazon ads now that it's accessible to you?
Oh, I actually didn't know that with Draft to
Hey,
Digital,
I taught you
so I
something
should
new.
definitely do that. But I'll be moving my book into the publishing company, so I'll have access through that through that avenue, and we definitely do a lot of Amazon ads there. So
It sounds like it's
so for
pretty
sure
positive. You're going to
we'll be good.
definitely go for it then.
Yes.
Super, super. So it's not like one of those cases that you're telling the listeners here of the podcast. You're not saying like, hey, don't do any of this stuff. It's more like, hey, try out ebook fairs, but also you may want to look into other avenues and see where it works out for you.
You have to try everything, and that's because you never really know what's going to work with your demographic. So you have to know, who you have to do a lot of research. So if you have a lot of time and you really put a lot of effort into it, you can do very well with any of those things, with BookBub, with Amazon ads, with Facebook ads. You can do a ton with them, but you have to target it very specifically and know what you're doing. And there's lots of great tools out there that help with that. But if you don't understand that, or you don't have the kind of time, or maybe you don't have the capital in order to do that, then something like ebook fairs is a really great opportunity for you because it's much less expensive.
Oh,
And it still gives you that visibility that you wouldn't get on your own through leveraging the networks of other authors.
this is brilliant. I love a lot of what you're sharing here. All right, so we kind of made mention of it really quick here. You're an indie author, but now you're a traditional publishing owner, like a company owner. What happened, man? Like I saw Pennant Publications listed on your website, and I'm thinking, oh, that's just a sponsor spot, because I know that name through a mutual friend of ours, I'm sure, Keith Wheeler. Keith had told me about them a while ago because he ended up signing a deal with them for his book Mimi's Adventures. So what happened, man? You always surprise me. I got to tell you this.
That's exactly how it happened. So Keith introduced me to Debbie, who's the owner of Pennant Publications, and we started working with them. And it's the same thing. Got a lot of advice, a lot of information, and just stayed in close contact with her as well as with Keith throughout the entire time that we were building up ebook fairs. And an opportunity came up. She approached me and said, "Hey, I'm thinking about selling the business. So would you be interested?" And I thought about it for maybe 5 seconds, and like, of course, of course I'm interested. This makes a ton of sense because it gives us a great opportunity to add a ton of more people straight into ebook fairs as well. So all of them have access into ebook fairs, and allows us to be able to provide a lot of volume. So it made sense in both directions. So it was good for ebook fairs. It was good for the Pennant Publications authors because now they have a marketing engine available to them that can really help them sell a lot more books. And so the marriage made just a ton of sense. But it really happened all because of the intro that you made to Keith and Keith made to Debbie that caused it to happen. And that's kind of how it goes, right? It's just always good to have friends. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure. I tell you, we can probably just dive even deeper because I would love to just even chat with you about Pennant Publications and the direction that you're taking that. And of course, maybe there could probably be some authors that could send out some queries to you, but we'll address that some other day. I want to wrap up today's podcast with a question I shoot to everybody, and is, what advice do you have for aspiring authors and self-publishers?
Yeah, I think the main thing is to just follow your passion. I think it's one of those things that it's hard to describe. The feeling of actually creating a story and being able to take it in any direction that you want to take it, because it's all in your mind, right? It's all up to you. So follow that passion, have as much fun as you can while you're doing it, and I think always keep your audience in mind as well, right? So it's sort of like, is this something that's going to resonate well with my audience or not? What is it that I'm actually trying to achieve with this? Am I getting the points across? Am I getting the value that I want? So for me, everything that I do is driven around hopefully putting out a positive message, because that means a lot to me. And so I think finding whatever that is for you. So whether it's a positive message, or maybe you don't want to put a positive message out there, and that's totally fine.
What's wrong with you, dude?
Finding something that really resonates with you, so that you can have that passion. Because if you bring that passion to the project, then you can really endure. And the other thing is to keep that passion. So it's important for you to have it, but you also have to kind of evangelize a little bit. You have to be your own best advertising marketing department, right? So you are the one that really needs to drive everything that you're doing. So find ways, whatever it is. There's tons and tons of choices for you to choose from, and you never know what's going to work for you. So just be tenacious. Find ways to get your book out there. Find ways to connect with other people, because you never know what a relationship might bring. Just like what we've described here. I can countless number of times where friends have helped in this world. So that's one thing about the publishing world. There's tons of really, really great people that are very willing to help you out, and it's just one of those things that when you can reciprocate, you try to do that as best you can too, because having those friends are going to be so valuable for you throughout your entire career as an author and for your book. So I think finding ways to connect. Join organizations, join online communities, find ways to be able to meet other authors and learn from them. So really spend time listening to them and understanding, what helped them be successful, or what maybe wasn't successful for them, so that you can avoid it. So it's just really embracing the whole community, embracing the effort, and kind of like I said, just keeping the passion. I think if you can do that, and you'll have a lot of fun, and it'll be everything you hoped it would be.